How Philippine Marines saved Basilan from an Abu Sayyaf takeover. July 11, 2007. The air over the island of Basilan is thick, heavy not just with sweltering humidity, but with a chilling, unnatural silence. On the jungle floor, a group of Filipino soldiers makes a discovery that sends a shockwave of grief and rage across the entire nation. They have found the bodies of 14 of their brothers from the Philippine Marine Corps. The mission was supposed to be a search for a kidnapped Italian priest, but it had spiraled into a nightmare. As the soldiers draw closer, the true horror reveals itself. The bodies are not all whole. 10 of them have been savagely beheaded by terrorists. This was not just an ambush. It was a barbaric message written in blood. For the Philippine Marines, this was more than a strategic loss. It was a deeply personal wound, an unforgivable insult. A line had been crossed. What followed was not just another military operation. It was a 9-hour battle for vengeance, a desperate struggle that would decide the fate of an entire island. This is the true story of how the Marines fought back from the brink of despair to reclaim Basilan from the grip of terror. Chapter 1. The Spark, an Ambush in Al-Barka. It all began with a mission of mercy that turned into a descent into hell. On July 10, 2007, a unit of Marines pushed deep into the treacherous jungles of Basilan. Their objective was to verify intelligence regarding a kidnapped Italian priest, Father Giancarlo Bossi, who was believed to be held captive somewhere in the area. They moved into Al-Barka, a rugged, isolated municipality notorious for being an insurgent stronghold. But the intelligence was a dead end. Worse, it was a trap. As the Marines began their withdrawal back to base, the jungle, which had been eerily quiet, suddenly exploded around them. An overwhelming force of nearly 400 gunmen, a deadly mix of Abu Sayyaf terrorists and rogue Moro Islamic Liberation Front (MILF) fighters, had them completely surrounded. The Marines were outnumbered nearly 10 to 1, but they refused to surrender. They fought with grim determination for hours, holding their ground against impossible odds. The true horror was only revealed after the fighting subsided. When reinforcements finally broke through, they found a scene of carnage. 14 of their comrades were killed in action. 10 of them had been desecrated, their heads taken in an act of pure brutality designed to terrorize the military and demoralize the nation. The news ignited a firestorm of national outrage. For the Marine Corps, the grief was a crushing weight, and their resolve hardened into unbreakable steel. Chapter 2. A Line in the Sand, the Ultimatum. The massacre at Al-Barka was a profound insult to the Philippine nation, an act of barbarism that could not be ignored. In the capital of Manila, President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo condemned the atrocity and gave a clear directive: hunt down every single person responsible. The armed forces of the Philippines then issued a stern ultimatum to the MILF, whose rogue elements had participated in the slaughter. Surrender the killers hiding within your ranks, or face the full might of the military. The deadline came and went in silence. The choice had been made. A major military offensive was set in motion, its sights aimed squarely at the heart of the Abu Sayyaf in Basilan. The objective was simple and absolute: hit the terrorists so hard they could never recover, and bring the men who committed the beheadings to justice. Additional battalions, including the most elite forces of the Philippine military, were deployed to the island to begin the hunt. Intelligence operatives worked around the clock, piecing together information, and soon they pinpointed the enemy's nerve center, a major Abu Sayyaf camp located in the municipality of Uncaya, Pucan. This camp was believed to be the base of a notorious commander named Faruji Indama, and others directly involved in the Al-Barka ambush. This was not going to be a simple patrol. It was to be a planned, deliberate assault, a decisive push into the heart of darkness to cut out the cancer that had plagued Basilan for so long. The stage was set for a final, bloody reckoning. Chapter 3. Into the Heart of Darkness. the Battle of Ankaya Pukan. On August 18, 2007, just over a month after the gruesome discovery at Al-Barka, the counterattack began. As dawn broke over the island, elite companies of the Philippine Marines began their assault on the fortified Abu Sayyaf camp in Ankaya Pukan. They were knowingly stepping into the enemy's backyard, a place the terrorists knew by heart, a place they had prepared for a bloody, protracted fight. The Marines advanced with a cold fury, their grief channeled into focus. But they were not reckless. They knew exactly who they were up against. The Abu Sayyaf was infamous for its battlefield ferocity and its fanatical defense. As the first Marines approached the perimeter of the camp, the morning quiet was shattered by a deafening hail of gunfire that erupted at precisely 6:25 a.m. It was immediately clear this would be a fight to the death. The Abu Sayyaf fighters, estimated to number between 70 and 80, were heavily armed and deeply entrenched in a network of reinforced bunkers and fighting positions. The combat was brutal, intimate, and fought at close quarters. This wasn't a battle waged from a safe distance with air power. This was a desperate, face-to-face struggle for every single inch of ground. The Marines seemed to have underestimated the sheer volume of firepower the entrenched rebels possessed. They were met with a solid wall of lead, and the cost of their advance began to climb with every step. Chapter 4. The 9-Hour War. The battle for the Ankaya Pukan camp raged for nearly 9 agonizing hours. It was a relentless, grinding firefight where incredible acts of bravery occurred alongside devastating loss. Driven by the memory of their 14 fallen brothers, the Marines pushed forward against the fortified bunkers. Their advance measured in blood, sweat, and sheer determination. They clawed their way forward, slowly but surely gaining ground. The leadership of the young officers on the ground proved to be absolutely critical. These lieutenants led from the front, shouting encouragement and directing fire, inspiring their men to keep attacking despite the withering resistance. But their incredible courage came at the highest possible price. In the brutal chaos of the Basilan campaign, 5 of these brave young lieutenants were killed in action, fighting and dying alongside the very men they led. The Marines suffered heavily, losing 15 soldiers in the assault alone. The fighting grew so intense that air support was called in to break the stalemate. Tragically, a Philippine Air Force MG-520 attack helicopter providing cover crashed during the operation. The pilot was killed, while his co-pilot miraculously survived. Yet, even with the casualties mounting, the Marines refused to back down. Their dedication was absolute. They overran one enemy bunker after another, their relentless assault finally cracking, and then shattering the Abu Sayyaf's defenses. Chapter 5. The Aftermath and the Cost of Justice. As the sun finally began to set on Basilan, the guns over Ankaya Pukan fell silent. The Marines had done it. Against all odds, the Abu Sayyaf camp was taken. Scattered across the battlefield were the bodies of slain terrorists. Official military reports would later state that 42 Abu Sayyaf fighters had been killed in the battle, their stronghold broken and burned. Among the dead were key commanders, including one identified as Amir Indama, who was known to be directly involved in the beheadings of the Marines just 1 month earlier. Justice in its rawest and most violent form had been delivered on the battlefield, but the victory was soaked in sorrow. The surviving Marines began the grim and sacred task of recovering their own 15 fallen comrades. The cost had been incredibly steep. In just over a month, this single Marine brigade had lost 29 men 14 in the Al-Barka ambush and another 15 in the Ankaya Pukan assault. It was a tactical victory, born of sheer grit and willpower, but the emotional toll was immense. A camp had been taken, and a measure of vengeance had been served, but the question lingered in the smoke-filled air. What did it truly mean for the future of Basilan? Chapter 6. The Legacy of Basilan. The brutal clashes in the summer of 2007 marked a pivotal turning point for the island of Basilan. The 9-hour battle at Pukan was more than just an act of revenge. It was a strategic declaration. It shattered the myth of Abu Sayyaf's invincibility in their own strongholds and proved the unwavering resolve of the Philippine Marine Corps. They demonstrated to the world that no act of barbarity would go unanswered, and that they were willing to pay any price to free the island from the grip of terror. The fight for Basilan was not won in a single day, and the shadow of violence would haunt the region for years to come. But the events of 2007 drew a clear line in the sand. It galvanized the military's efforts and began the long, arduous process of clearing the island, municipality by municipality. This process culminated years later when Basilan was officially declared free from the Abu Sayyaf group, of victory for which the foundation was laid in the blood and sacrifice of those brave men. The story of the Marines in Basilan is a powerful testament to the dual nature of war, its horrific brutality and its profound capacity for sacrifice. It is a story of vengeance, but it is also one of incredible valor. The memory of the 29 Marines lost in the summer of 2007 serves as a solemn reminder of the true cost of peace and the unbelievable courage of those who fight to defend it. Their sacrifice was the price paid to save an island. Please subscribe, like, and comment on our video. Thank you so much. Good luck and God bless.